give the cameras in the back just a second. All good? All right, Coach, whenever you're ready, sir.
All right, not good enough. You know, got to coach better, got to lead better. Players need to play better. And, you know, it's simple enough. You know, I think execution can be better. You know, I think we dug ourselves a hole in the first half and against a really good football team that's got good personnel, that's well coached, that plays complementary ball. And but I will say that what I respect about that group of men in the locker room is that they really care. They worked hard on getting to know each other, working together, playing this game the way that it's intended to be played, and that's for each other. I think we saw a little bit of that, challenged them at halftime, and certainly they responded the right way. We were able to get a score, create some takeaways, get it back to a game, but ultimately weren't able to, you know, do enough there to take advantage of some of the opportunities that we had. So it is what it is. I think the key here is that we continue to learn from our experience, that we continue to grow and develop the character of our team, that we improve as coaches, as leaders, and certainly continue to develop football players. But, you know, this game is just that. It's a game. And the special thing about the game is who you do it with. And I gained a level of respect for that group in terms of how they responded at halftime. And that's what I would say that I respect the most. They care. They really do care. And I think today might have been a turning point to some degree relative to what is really in there, right? In your heart, in your soul, between your ears. I think there's some things that we can learn. But a ton of respect for the football team that Georgia has. There's no hiding that. They've got a fantastic team, really good players. They're well coached. And certainly we learned a lot about what we need to do to get our program to where it can be competitive against a team like that. So what questions do we have?
We'll open with Edgar.
Yeah, Billy, building off that, you were talking about kind of the fight. Just how big is that just to the foundation of what you're going to do long term and when you're rebuilding?
It's the most important part. It's the most important part.
The two fourth down plays, do you feel like that kind of swung the game kind of firmly in Georgia's favor?
Yeah, I mean, it's a turnover, right? It's a turnover on downs, and turnovers affect the, you know, outcome of the game. So no different than them turning the ball over allowed us to get back in the game. You know, when we don't convert on fourth down, we turn the ball over to them. So, you know, we had our opportunities. We can coach better, and we can play better.
What did you see on that, the fourth time you guys had in early fourth quarter near midfield?
I just got done with a heck of a game. You would have to tell me specifically what fourth down you're talking about. There's a lot of them out there today.
Was under pressure by Carter up the middle, ran left, threw it away.
You're talking about at the very end of the game right out here?
No, early in the fourth.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know, we had individual matchup inside 88. You know, won an individual matchup there, created a pressure in the pocket. You know, ultimately got him out of his rhythm there and his progression. I think that specific play.
Yeah, Coach. Everybody knows you don't build a program in 1 year, and they've been recruiting at an elite level for 6 or 7 years. How important is it to replenish your roster with good recruits in the next 2-3 years?
I mean, evaluation and recruitment is always important. I think that, to go where we want to go, right, to win a SEC championship, to win a divisional championship, to win our conference, to win a national championship, you got to do it all really well, right? You got to evaluate, you got to recruit, you have to develop, you got to impact who they are as people, right? And those are all areas that we wake up every day and we work extremely hard at, right? So there's no question evaluation and recruitment is very important.
Frank.
Billy, you got the score down to 28-20, and then they just kind of piled it on a little bit. Is it just a case of kind of giving out of gas after that? Did you put so much effort into coming back?
I mean, was that a question?
Yeah, I was asking.
Yeah. Or it sounded like an answer to me, right? No, I'm with you. Okay, I mean, we got it to one score, and they rushed the ball very effective in that possession and ended up scoring a touchdown to get it back to 2 scores, right? So, we'll watch the film and we'll see lots of areas where we can do better. We can coach better and play better. But, yes, they got the momentum back when they scored. And I think in that drive they rushed the ball primarily after the quarterback had thrown a handful of interceptions.
Nick Delatorre.
You said that building that kind of resolve, I guess, and that toughness is the most important thing. How do you do that? And is that something that started maybe back in the spring? And just how far have you seen the team come when you started to respond in the second half?
We got a lot of work left to do. I think that it was one of the things that the players felt like needed to improve. One of the things you do that I really believe in is you ask a lot of questions in the beginning, right? Where are we, right? What are the issues? What are the things that we need to resolve? And I think togetherness was one of those things, right? And, I think how hard you play is a reflection of what type of teammate you are, right? I firmly believe that, right? Like when you turn the tape on, if you're loafing, if there's a lack of effort on the film, then you're not a very good teammate, right? So I think you start there, right? But, I told the players in the locker room just now, as long as I'm coaching here, we're going to play this game for the people that we play it with, right? And I think that takes time to develop, right? But I think we're getting somewhere in that regard.
Can you share how did you challenge the team in the locker room that night?
I mean, we walked into a locker room with a lot of disappointed players that were emotional, that care, that have passion, that want to do their job for the team, There's an old war term called a foxhole guy, right? A guy that you can trust, right? A guy that's loyal, a guy that you can turn your back from and know that he's going to do what he's supposed to do, right? And you're doing the same thing on your side, right? So, I think this game, there's no comparison military-wise, but I think there's some things that we can learn a lesson from relative to those intangibles.
Coach in the back.
Billy, you talked about as an organization controlling what you need to control to get to where you guys want to be. How do you balance that in terms of self, but also knowing the team you're going to play is probably going to be someone that you're going to compete with for those goals?
Yeah, it was an 8-point game in the third quarter tonight. That's what I would tell you, And, it's reality, right? But it's one that we took that challenge on, right? So back to work.
Alan Taylor.
Bob has these big numbers, but I think 79 tip pass with Bernie's with him. Trey had tight coverage on a 50-50 ball. Do you feel like the defensive scheme was there? It's just a matter of him winning individual?
Yeah, you guys watched the game. I guess, he's one of the best players in the country now and probably one of the best players in the last how many years, right? So It's a unique matchup player, and they do a good job. You know, they got some other good ones out there too. It's not like you can just worry about him. So, you know, he's a really good player, and certainly tonight, you know, I thought our plan was effective to some degree.
Kevin Brockway.
The slow start on offense, what do you attribute it to in your mind?
You know, I think we're inefficient runs, you know, getting behind the sticks, you know, playing third and long against a group that can rush the passer. You know, I mean, got a handful of 3 and outs early there. You know, we dug ourselves a hole, and you know, I think we learned. Well, it's a good defensive group now, just so we all understand, right? It's not like it's a good defensive group. So,
Were there any adjustments you think that were made in the second half that caused things to spring free compared to the first half?
yeah, I think so. I also think we ran some of the same plays and had success running them, you know. So this game is oftentimes not what you're doing, but how you're doing it, right? The precision and detail and synchronization of how you do things, right? So it's the best thing about the game is because it requires 11 players at a time, right? So sometimes when one player's not doing what he's supposed to do, it can affect the entire team.
Back to Mike Yankee.
Coach, growing up in Georgia, what are your memories of Coach Dooley? Did he have any impact on you when you were growing up in your career?
Well, I've heard his name my entire life, obviously. You know, I think Coach Dooley was a class act, right? He truly, he coached the game, but he also impacted people. And he was a lot more than a coach, right? If you really dig into Coach Dooley, while he was a coach and then after he was finished coaching. So, you know, a coach has an opportunity, and I think Coach Dooley took full advantage of his opportunity.
Back to Nick here.
I think earlier this week you said, you know, obviously there might be a talent gap just based on.
I didn't say that.
Do you think that?
I didn't say that.
Do you think after watching the game today or being in the game today that there was a talent gap on either sideline?
It doesn't matter if there was a talent gap or not, right? It matters who played the best today, right? Who executed the best today, right? We didn't execute the best today.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
All right, we'll give the cameras in the back just a moment. Feel good? All right. We'll open up for questions, guys.
Seemed like you were more aggressive running the ball in the second half. What was the difference, or was it part of that Coach Napier's message, or how would you describe your mindset in the second half compared to the first half?
No, that's just trying to play physical, you know, get the ball moving, you know, get the offense rolling a little bit. Obviously, we couldn't move it that well in the first half, so, you know, I tried to, you know, help us a little bit and try to be a little bit more physical on the ground.
What was going on this first few series where you guys just didn't seem to be in sync or anything? Was it Georgia or was it you guys?
A little bit of both. You know, they had a great pass rush. You know, our communication was a little off, and we didn't execute that well, and they executed, you know, a little better than we did. So that was pretty much it.
What do you think of the team rallying, though? I mean, you guys are down 28-3. A lot of teams could have folded. You guys scored 17 straight. What does that mean to the team today and going forward?
You know, that's just us. You know, that's nothing new for us. We've been putting in games like that before this year, and, you know, we've always fought through it. So that's just us. That's just how we play ball. You know, we try not to put ourselves in a hole like that, you know, earlier, but, you know, that's just how we play ball. We like to fight and just play aggressive.
Billy said that he challenged you guys at halftime. Can you divulge a little bit as to what that challenge was and how you think everyone responded?
No, that was just coming together and just playing aggressive. You know, obviously, like he just said, you know, plenty of teams would just fold their tents and just lay down. But, you know, he challenged us to come out, play aggressive, and just bring the fight to them, and hopefully it could have changed the game.
What made Georgia's defense kind of hard to break?
I wouldn't say that it's hard to break. You know, they just have great guys on their team. They have a great scheme. So whenever you have a team like that, it's pretty easy for them to run their assignments and do what they do. And if they have 11 people doing their job, then it's kind of hard to, affect them and stop them. But they have a great defense and a great scheme. Those guys know their scheme.
What did you see on the 78-yard touchdown pass to Xavier?
That's just looking at the coverage. The call we had there, it was basically like a quick out to Ricky, and I was looking to throw that, but I saw the corner squat, and I just knew the whole shot was going to be there eventually. So I waited, and I seen Xavier there, and he just ran.
Anyone else, guys?
How do you guys just kind of take this kind of effort going forward? I mean, you guys have 4 games left, and you're 4-4 now. I mean, just your thoughts about the mindset of this game and how you kind of build off it, to close out the season.
We just try to take the good things and improve on those, and take the bad things, try to throw them out the window, and just try to correct those things. Being consistent, that's probably one of the biggest keys in playing. With a great team, being a great team, and winning games. So just being consistent and just growing as a team every day, that's pretty much the main goal for us.
Last year, obviously, it kind of spiraled. So, I mean, what makes this group different, or what makes this team different that, that won't repeat, you think?
Just the brotherhood, when we're not even focused on last year and what happened last year, once the new staff came in, that was out the window. We're in the moment now. We just got to live in this moment.
One of the bigger plays, early in the fourth quarter, you guys are down by 15 near midfield, 4th down, you kind of had to throw it away. What happened on that play? Do you remember?
I don't necessarily remember what play you're talking about, but maybe there was some pressure or something, and try not to take a sack, and just try to manage the game, be smart with the ball.
In the back.
Anthony, I know it's always kind of a talking point every after this game, but how do you compare where you guys are at as a program to Georgia?
I don't really know. It's kind of hard to compare yourself to somebody else, because we do things totally different from them. They do things different from us. So, it's kind of hard for us to actually compare it. But, they're a great team. We believe that we're a great team. We just got to improve on small things.
What are your thoughts about Etienne's performance today?
He's a great player. He's been playing well all season. I'm proud of him. He's a young guy, and he goes hard. So I'm glad to have him on the team.
Anthony, what do you guys rally around now? I mean, obviously you come to the season one win, division, conference, those goals can't be achieved now. What do you rally around the last couple of games this year?
Just playing for each other. That's pretty much been the main goal all year, sticking together, playing for each other. But, trying to focus on those things like winning the East or trying to get to the national championship, that could put a lot of pressure on us. But, we play for each other and stand for each other, and hopefully things can fall in our favor.
When you see the team rally like you did for 17 points during the third quarter, what does that tell you about the team's capabilities in the next 4 ball games?
That just shows us that we can play ball however we want to play ball whenever we want to. That's just starting fast and staying fast and finishing fast. So the beginning of the game we got to play like we did in this third quarter. But, that just shows us that we have a good team that knows how to fight.
What was the difference then in the first quarter when you showed up, and then in the third quarter that you showed up? You just said, you got to play the first quarter like the third.
I don't think we came out as aggressive as we did in the third quarter. We were just trying to play it play by play and just let it happen instead of, attacking it and playing ball how we play ball. So I think that was the key thing right there.
Anyone else? All right. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank y'all.
Let me know you guys good in the back. Good. All right, guys, we're joined by Tyreak Sapp. We'll open up to questions. We'll start with Nick.
Sorry, Billy said he came in at halftime and kind of challenged the locker room. What was that message, and kind of how did you guys receive it and play differently?
The message was just pull together. We got to come. We got to come together. We got to be tighter. We got to be tight knit throughout every position group. Everybody on the team, offense, defense. We got to be complementary to each other. We got to come out in that second half, and we got to play better and more tight knit and more together football. That's it.
What do you take from this defense performance? Because You guys force 3 turnovers, but you give up 500 yards. How do you evaluate that kind of thing?
You gotta kind of take it for what it is. You gotta look at it, and you gotta kind of accept it. And you gotta understand that what happened was a product of how we played at times, and then the good things that we made happen was things that we had to make happen, and things that we made happen on our own individuals, and just us coming together. The better we played together as a team, as a defense, the better outcomes we had.
28-20, do you kind of wish you had the possession back because it's at that point, you guys get a stop, you keep the momentum, or what kind of happened on that play?
Just a lot of things, like, just things happen in between the ears, because half of this game is not physical. It's just a lot of things in between the ears that we can take care of and that we can be better at as a defense. So it's that, really.
4 months ago, where Georgia has been, obviously, in the championship. So you leave the field at the end of this whole thing. What lessons do you take, and what notes do you take mentally of what you saw from Georgia?
Nah, that's the number 1 team in the country. They have every right. They have every right to that, and we just got to understand. We got to evaluate ourselves and understand what happened today, on going to tonight. What happened, and how can we build on ourselves as a team and as an organization? Just how can we build on that and be better from all the mistakes, just everything that happened, and just coming together better as a team and just playing more complementary football. That's all.
How tough is Bowers to deal with?
That's a tough kid. He's very. That's why I say he's very smart in between the ears. Like, kid know what he's doing. He can go out there. He can slice you up. He's fast. He's like big, fast, everything that you expect out of that guy. But it's always a way to stop somebody. We all put on our cleats the same. It's always a way to stop somebody.
More questions, guys?
Just in terms of going forward, I mean, how do you November's coming up, you got 4 games left. What do you think's left to play for you guys?
There's a lot to play for. There's a lot, no doubt. We ain't stopping here. We looking forward to going out and running the table, and there ain't no problem with that for us. We're just gonna go out, get out here and work during these weeks and during these couple weeks, and get ready to be successful. Cause that's all that you're gonna see from us from here on out. Successful.
Again, the gap between Georgia and Florida obviously right now. But sometimes great teams also get some luck as well. And what you mentioned, the ball that Bernie hit. I mean,
like it's football. Like, things like that happen, and 2 guys that could have seized the moment. It could have been a big play for one guy. It could have been a big play for the other guy. Obviously, it was a big play for Bowers, and he took advantage of that, and he took that all the way home. So, you just gotta take what you can. You can't look back. You look back at it now, but you gotta move forward from it. And I know Bernie's gonna get better from it. He's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal guy. He works hard every day. He comes in the building. He understands what it takes and what he has to do to be able to make those plays in those critical moments, as you see he did in this game.
Yeah, what does it say that he came back from that and forced us to?
The kid's resilient. He has a one-track mind, and he has a one-play mind. That play was over. It's time to play the next play, and it's time to win this game, at least attempt to win this game, and keep on pushing forward, because we know the harder you play, the more resilient you are. The more we come together, defense, the better chance we have at winning games like this.
Got time for one more, guys. All right, appreciate it, Tiger.
Most stuff.
That's all for tonight, guys.